Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hermit Skies. And in the last episode we got a whole load of stuff done with Project E and making this energy condenser Mark II, and I've done a bunch of derping as well, reading my comments, realising that I'm a silly goose. Okay, I made some big mistakes. Let's go into the quest book. This right here is not telling me how many of the different types of blocks I need to collect. It's telling me how much faster they will make the crucibles go, right? In my defense, it doesn't actually really say that anywhere, but I got a lot of comments about that. I also got a lot of comments about making this tablet over here, the transmutation tablet. I was talking about, or was it the table? I think it was the table. Yes, duplicating things like the HDPE sheets and the dark solarium ingots. Well, you can't actually duplicate them unless they have an EMC value, so we'll be able to duplicate those. We won't be able to duplicate starry emeralds, and we will be able to duplicate the dark matter. But anyway, it's all about getting that EMC going, isn't it? And I had an idea. I noticed that this block right here was worth a lot, 3.9 million, and emerald blocks are only worth 147,000. So it seemed like maybe crafting these up would be a good idea to put into this box and generate some EMC. Well, I was a little surprised because I asked all of you to suggest stuff, and the biggest suggestion by far, loads and loads of people saying that I should use cobblestone, which has a very, very low value of EMC until you compress it a bunch of times, and that takes a lot of time and resources to compress cobblestone. So I don't think it's a particularly good idea, but we're going to give it a try anyway. And I realised this idea right here was kind of silly because I went back and looked at the crafting recipe and realised that the exact value of the base materials like the nether star and the diamonds are all added up into the total thing right here. So I could just pump diamonds and nether stars into the transmutation chest thing, and it would be worth the same amount of EMC. So there's no reason to craft anything. We don't get like bonus MC for crafting stuff. So over here I've set up a bunch of cobblestone generators, tier 5. I was messing around with putting them into the crafter, and it seems like this amount right here is the best for getting the most out of the cobblestone generator, right? That's the fastest that it will move those across. So we are moving all of the cobblestone out into here really fast, and you can see that it's not really doing a lot. In fact, it hasn't even produced the top tier cobblestone yet. We're still on this one right here, quintuple. So I think this is a little long-winded. And how much does the sextuple get us? It is just, 530,000. I think this isn't the way to do it. It's a good way to get some EMC pumping into this thing constantly, but I don't think it's the way to get the large amounts of EMC that we're going to need. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do is plop this thing down over here, and I'm going to change the settings of this and start moving the stuff in. So we're only going to go as high as quad now, and I've just been goofing around and adding in extra conduits on the side. Doesn't seem to change the transfer speed at all, so it's not like it could have more inputs and get more items into there. So that's going as fast as it can, and now this stuff is just going to sit there. So we've made 196,000 so far, and I've had this running for a little bit before I started recording. I came over here and set this thing up, and I don't think that's going to be enough because we're going to want to duplicate stuff like well, not infinity ingots. There's something that goes into that we can duplicate. That one right there. 700,000 infinity catalysts. We're going to end up needing a lot of those, and as you can see, we've got next to nothing if we want to make stacks of this. So it's okay, but I think we need to investigate another way of doing this. So we shall do like other hermits before us have done, and we'll end up making a dimension out of material. I've got an idea for what material we should make it out of. But first of all, we've got to make a dimension, and what we should supposedly use are these digit dimlets to make them unique. And what you can do with these is basically put like numbers into them. You see how the key changes? Well, that's the number of the dimlet changing. So we could put 5 and 1 together, and then we'd make number 51. And that would make it unique to us, or something along those lines, from what I understand. So if we store that into here, we're now going to create a random dimension that is unique to us, so no one else would have been here before. And I've set up these machines: dimension builder, inscriber, dialing device, receiver, and transmitter over here. All of these things will get us to where we're going. That just caused a lot of FPS lag, which is kind of unusual. And this thing, I believe, is ready to go. Aha! Finally! Yes, you have to dial a dimension once you've created it. So if you've got your dimension in your dimension builder, it is being charged constantly. It costs 20 RF per tick to run, which is cool. And I moved these things around here a little bit. Turns out what you got to do is set these to public in order to use them. So now we're going to connect with, you know, our transmitter to the one that's inside the dimension. You see it there, number 12. I haven't renamed that yet, but it's been dialed, and it means we get to jump and go through to this dimension. And I have no idea what it's going to look like, but we're here looking for dimensional shards. Dimensional pattern blocks is what this is made out of. Is this good for anything? It doesn't have an EMC value. That would have been nice. And its recipe is there, and what are its uses? Its uses are that it's useless. Cool. So we could be in a rubbish dimension. Apparently, you know, animals can spawn on these. Yikes. What a strange layout. What a very strange layout. Ah, and this is actually what we're here to look for. We need to start collecting some of these things, and that, I believe, is the one that I need to collect. Is that a material one? Excellent. That means... Oh, wait a second, that's already set to dirt and bricks. That might not actually be useful. Not so sure if we need any other ones, but the material one was what I was after, so we could set our own material in a dimension. And we'll probably need to collect some of these things as well, I'm guessing. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing here, because I'm going off of memory and looking up old videos. And if you know me and my memory, it's not particularly good. Also, we don't want to lose track of where this is, so we can get back home. That is around 00. That's good to know. Looks like almost the entire world is built out of this stuff. There's a little bit of stone down the bottom, but that's it. Decided to dig down to the bottom to find out what else was in here. I think I've got what we need from this place, and just remembered that we can get home like this. So we didn't even need to remember where 00 is. And there's a good chance we might not ever go back to that dimension again. It's pretty naff, isn't it? But I've got what I need. I think what we're after is this thing right here, a dimlit workbench, which will allow us to deconstruct dimlits into individual parts and reconstruct new dimlits out of this part. Because basically what we want to do is make a material dimlit with the material of our choosing. So this right here is the dimlit workbench, and we needed one of those to make it. So that's why we went to that dimension. And also, I had a fancy idea to make our dimension out of crystal matrices, right? I mean, look at the EMC of those compared to emeralds. But the thing is, if we go into here and type crystal, it doesn't actually support that. So it's probably going to only work with vanilla-based stuff. So we can make a an emerald block of emeralds biome right there. So you can see the different things that we need, right? I've already got two of those. We've got the base part and we've got the control circuit rarity 5. And to get these other things, I think it's going to be quite unlikely for us to get them through deconstructing the dimlits that we're finding in these dimensions, but that might be a way to get our hands on some of those parts. The other way is through dimlit parcels, and we might have been farming those. Oh yes, we have. That is a very good site. Now we have an Enderman spawner, and I believe these dimlit parcels drop from the Enderman. So where we've had this thing running in the past, we've been getting dimlits, and I think it's time to start running it again because we need to farm these things now. So each time I right click on one of these, it's going to give us a whole bunch of random dimlits, and the hope is that we eventually get the ones that we need to create the particular dimlit part. Because once we made that dimlit part for getting block of emeralds in the world, we can put it into our dialing device, or sorry, no, our dimensional inscriber, and inscribe it into a dimension, and then charge that thing up and go and visit it, and it will be full of emerald blocks, and that's the way that this gets done. But the next bit is kind of grindy because I just got to keep going through these materials until I find what we need. A material type controller, wasn't that part of it? Let's go to the emerald one again. Yes, it was. Excellent. We've now got that bit there. So we've got 3 more to go. So we got it. We got all of the parts right here. And the next thing for us to do is to basically use the material absorber to absorb loads of emerald blocks. And that's the final piece of the puzzle, right? If you haven't seen how this works before, you need a whole bunch of blocks to begin with. We've got like 14,000 of these, so it's no problem whatsoever. Place a bunch down, which seems to be very laggy in my base. And then just slap the material absorber next to it. In fact, I think the material absorber needs to be on top of it, because it looks downwards, and look at that, it's starting to take away all of the blocks, which again is hurting my frames. This base is just Not very nice. If we look at the block, though, you can see that its charge is going up. It's probably going to get to 100% with some blocks to spare. No, I actually used, like, all of them. Wow, okay. So now that we got that up to 100%, we want to turn this thing into the dimlet for the block of emeralds. And I believe we need to use this machine. So probably what I'm going to have to do is move all of these out of here. Oh, it's down there that we use it. Oh, okay, so we put them into those slots, right. In my defense, it's probably been over a year since I last used this mod. Okay, and there we go, the block of emeralds. Nice. So we grab that. We go over to this machine. No, I moved these around. This one right here, we're missing something. One of those. Okay, so that in there and this thing. It's warning us. There are dangerling modifiers in the description. Huh. Well, I made a big mistake, and I had a little chat with Biffa who explained what this is. It's literally telling you what's wrong. Dangling is the word that I misread. There are dangling modifiers. Basically, something is supposed to follow it, so now it's okay. Everything appears to be alright. So it didn't work because it needs to be followed with another one. So we've got this flat one right here, and that means it should be an emerald flat world. So we will store that, and now we will create it and teleport to it. Whoa! What's happening? Is this correct? Something ain't right here. There's creepers. They just blew up. Okay, now they're all dead. There's fluid cows everywhere. There is emeralds here, just in a strange arrangement. I think someone else has created the exact same world, and we've gone to their worlds because there are some signs of another player here. I saw a chunk loader. Maybe that'll tell us whose world this is. That chunk loader does not belong to you. Okay. So there was something here doing something. Anyway, I guess we're here now and we can still mine some of these emerald blocks, I hope. I hope there's enough of them here. I set this thing up so that it has a material filter and I put an emerald block in it. We should also check where we are in the world. So 64 or 63 and below, so we might as well set that to that like so. I'm not sure if I need to do anything else there. Right, that's been set. This thing needs some power. And a chunk loader, although that one's there. You know, I want to put my own one down and load a whole bunch of chunks while I mine this stuff. And then we can tell this thing to start, right? And it got one. It got one block, and then it said hello there. 2. That's not good enough. Actually, maybe it's scanning a really large area and it's seeing all of the dirt and it's not getting to the emeralds. Yeah, This took nowhere long as to create last time, and that's because we didn't actually create it. And also, if we look at the maintenance cost, that's more power than I can get to this thing. I think 40,000 is the most because we're using a dimensional transceiver. So that world isn't going to be inhabitable. So I made another dimensional builder, and what we're going to do is just load it directly from the battery, which should be able to supply it with enough bandwidth. There goes my FPS again. This is just a usual thing playing modded lately, it seems. I was going to hide it there. There's a light in the way, but if we plop it down here, it should be able to get some good bandwidth. There we go. It's able to power the dimension, and this thing is ticking up faster. Now, we know that it's a new type, and if we look at its ID, we've got ID 14, so this is a new world, and when we go into it, it should have nothing but emerald blocks in there. But right now, I've got to figure out what is causing this FPS drop. It's probably an Ender IO conduit again, and that means I've got to search around the base and find where it is. Alright. That is cool. We've got the emeralds. We've also got boulders of other materials. I want to get this thing going straight away. Let's not hesitate here. All we've got to do now is click start. It looks like it's going slow again. I can see the emeralds here. What's going on? What is going on? Maybe it's the height of the world. 63 again. Shouldn't have any problems. Wow, that is really slow. And if we look around here, we've got cobblestone, we've got oak logs, probably nothing fancy. We're not going to find anything good, are we? But that's kind of hilarious. Are these things hollow? No, they're not hollow as well. Sometimes they're hollow, I've seen that before. Well, we might have to use something different than a digital miner, I'm thinking. You know, this might be good enough. A little bit of vein miner going on, because I've got a ridiculous amount of emeralds now. and now I've got a ridiculous amount more. If we open this thing up and hover over our emeralds, you'll see that the stack EMC is too much for it to calculate, whereas that one's like 1 billion. Over here you can see like 9.5 million per stack. I don't know how much of this EMC stuff I'm actually going to need in total, so this might be complete overkill. Then again, I don't know what's in the quest book, so I think we'll knock this one on its head for now. I'm guessing there's like another type of miner that would do a better job, but for now I'm just going to leave this thing here running. Not really going to be worth it, is it? Because when I come back here I can get as much emeralds just by doing that. Oh, I don't know. Time to head home. Right, we're going to receive emeralds through this dimensional transceiver. There is one over here that is sending them, and it seems to pick out the blocks by default, so that works just fine. Probably not going to chuck an upgrade onto this thing in case it starts pulling out the other bits. I tried adding a exporter through our ME system, but if we add any more channels to it, it stops working at this point, so I'm kind of limited with what I can do there. So now this thing should have emeralds pumping into it. That's good to see. And of course the cobblestone as well, which look, 419,000 or 9.4 million. That's why other people have done it with the emerald blocks, I guess. So if we think about how long this has been running for, or I've been playing, it's really not a great source of EMC. It's good that it's passive, but it doesn't make enough. Anyway, now that we've got that set up, it means that we can start cloning some stuff, and I'm not sure what it is I actually need to clone at this point. Well, at this point, I think there's not much more other than a big jump cut in front of us. I've got some of that stuff pulverized. I'm now going to pulverize some of this as well so that we can make the watering can, because this is part of a quest line that we hadn't finished, so we'll be able to make that, and then the Supremium one, and then there's like a time machine after that. And looking through the quest book, there are just more things that I don't know what the uses of are, but we can craft them. Like we've got this thing over here, we've got these different tools to make, and a Klein Star as well as dark matter armor, which is made into red matter. And this is where we're going to use those emeralds. We're going to use a lot of cloning of EMC because we can clone the dark matter rather than craft it from scratch. Now some of those tools that you just saw, the red matter pick, I think it's the axe and the shovel, or maybe there was a sword made like so. So again, lots of cloning going on there, but we'll be able to combine those things together to make the red morning star, and then we can use that to make the draconic staff of power. Now check out this crafting rapid. That is bonkers right there. The dark axe, this stuff right here, easy to make. That thing is relatively easy to make as well, I think, with what's it called, mechanism, which we've done recently. We've got the sword, we've got the pick, and we've got the axe. We're going to make the morning star, and then there's just the flux infused stuff as well, and that'll be another quest out of the book. So basically what I'm going to do right now is just jump ahead, and we're going to get a whole bunch of this stuff done. This thing is so fast that you often end up with too many items, like all of this stuff and that stuff, and then I'm thinking actually it's probably a good idea to leave these fooled in now, because I can make 3 of them, cancel that, take the 3 out that I've made, combine them together to make the next tier. Oh wait, it's that one, isn't it? There we go, and then do the same process again, because I need 4 each time. So that actually works out pretty well, doesn't it, for cloning these? So I've just finished doing some crafting fusion-y stuff. That should be the last of it. We should now have everything in our inventory to craft the staff over here. I made the flux tools, I made the atomic disassembler, and let's just pop it in here. Yes, there it is. That's very good. And of course I'll probably want to upgrade this as well. I'm not going to upgrade it straight away, but there's our all-in-one tool, which will probably end up replacing our pickaxe. I have the power, ladies and gentlemen. I have the power. Got it right here. There is one 4-letter word to describe what's going on right now, and that is done. Did you think I was going to say something else? I don't know. I've made the gem stuff, and infernal armor, gravity greaves, abyss helmet. It sounds kind of interesting, but we're pretty set on our draconic stuff, right? But it does tick off a load of stuff in the quest book. These ones are done. That one is left to do. If we just pop through these quickly, we've got our chaotic solars over there to figure out. And then these ones require us killing the dragon a few more times, if I remember correctly. So we're left with just a few more quests down here, and everything else is done. We're getting close. We're getting close. And at the moment, I require the help of a friend. But before we get to that, This over here has been lagging so bad. It's these conduits, and I just had to remove a bunch of them, right? And then it just randomly stops lagging again. But I'm pretty sure it's going to start lagging at some point. And oh, it's driving me mad. I can't find the broken conduit. And now we're in some random location. I was just hanging out with Wells Knight over here. This is his dimension for doing Botania stuff. Botania is a mod that I didn't want to get into in this pack, but we require it to do some of the final bits of questing. So Wells showed me how you make some of the items from this. Chucking ender pearls into that pool makes mana pearls. Chucking them through this portal gives you pixie dust, which is one of the things that we need. The other thing that we need is Gaia spirit. So to make the transmutation table, we need starry emeralds. And we need this Gaia Spirit and Pixie Dust. And we've got the Gaia Spirit. And you get it from a boss fight. So I was hanging out with Wells, who was showing me how this stuff worked. And then I decided to hit record. And this boss fight you're going to see, it was a lot of fun. It was pretty crazy as well. Ah, this looks like the boss fight thing.
Yep, this is the Gaia Guardian setup.
So is this going to be easy because I've got a draconic set of armor?
No,
Oh.
actually. The Gaia Guardian has certain mechanics that make it very difficult to farm and very difficult. You can one-shot it if you have the Sword of the Cosmos, the Infinity Sword.
Which you have.
Which I have, but everything else you'll actually have to fight it. But it's not like a super hard boss fight.
Okay.
It's not super bad. In fact, with draconic armor, you won't really take damage. It's just that you won't be able to like kill him in one hit. Yeah. Okay. So you put a Terra Steel ingot on top of the beacon.
That is something I don't have. No, I do. I do have Terra Steel.
Yeah. And those are for sale. Terra Steel ingots are for sale at Wellsmart.
Handy bit of advertising there.
Yep. So you put it there, and then
that's my offering.
Did you throw it off? Did you? I think you actually right click it onto the beacon. Hold on.
Oh.
Ah, there you go. You shift right click it onto the beacon.
Okay, and this is the boss fight.
Yep.
And I like the music.
Yep.
I'm in.
He's dead.
Yep.
But that's and then you get Gaia spirits as a result.
Ah, and how many of these do you get per fight? 6.
6 for the basic.
Yeah.
Or you can create Gaia ingots.
Ooh.
Once you have Gaia spirits, you can make Gaia spirit ingots.
Okay, let's try it. So did you hit it with the sword?
I did.
Ah. Oh wait, I can't fly at the moment.
Correct.
Okay, before you hit it with the sword, let's see how many. Is it immune to my arrows?
It is.
Great.
The only ranged weapon you're going to be able to hit it with is a chakram.
Interesting. Okay, I've not heard of that one. I've got an unupgraded one of these. Do you have to kill it in a certain amount of time?
No.
Okay. This is.
And I'm taking crazy damage because I'm not wearing my infinity armor.
I'm doing all. No, my entropy's getting pretty low. I think it's time to use your sword.
Yeah. Oh, he went flying off the edge. Where'd he go?
He's in the middle. Now he's over near you.
There we go.
And he's
Got
dead.
him.
Right, so this time we get.
And you
Dice
get all this
of
stuff over
Fate.
here too.
Here you go. The
Over here as
Pinkinator.
well.
Apply directly to Wither. Oh, does it turn it into a pink Wither? That's cool. Mana Pearls, Mana Diamonds, Gaia Spirits, and Will of Torag.
And there's stuff over here too. Directly below me.
Ooh, tons of stuff.
Mm-hmm. And you can take that Dice of Fate.
I got 2, so I gave you one. Let's give it a roll.
Yeah, I actually already have all the stuff
Okay.
because I spent a while grinding them, so it's all yours.
And I got 22 of these, and I think I need 44. Is it right if we do a couple more fights?
Yeah. Hold on. Here, take those.
Ooh.
Those are chakrams. Those will actually damage this guy.
Make sure I hit him. Okay, now I've used them all, and they've done like half a heart of damage.
Yep, they do a little bit.
Oh,
but they
do they come back to me?
There we go.
Oh, they come back to you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep, they come back. So, but that's the way to kill the Gaia Guardian legit.
Yep. And then the
So-
illegit way is with the sword, I'm guessing.
Yep, with the super sword. I'm gonna quick grab my infinity armor.
Okay.
I will be back in
It's
just
on
a
the
second.
meter at the top. It's got 2 little heads to it. 2 little player heads. Oh, they're floating around. Oh, right, and I can kill them easy. Oh, so it spawns in player heads. And it seems to be taking damage from my draconic bow. I'm also withered.
Yep,
This thing's starting to do some damage to me.
I'll be back in just a second. But yeah, Vazki specifically made it very, very difficult to farm the wither. Whoa!
What's going on?
I forgot that flight is not a thing.
And you fell into the
Luckily,
void?
I am falling into the void.
Use your dislocator.
I'm actually immune to void damage.
You can just chill out down there. This guy's down to
could.
half health. I'm going to start using the bow a bit more, I think. Yeah, the bow does actually hit the guy. He just doesn't ever take much. Oh, off the edge you go.
Yeah, he's got he has a damage, like a hard damage cap. Like it's impossible to deal more than a certain amount of damage per hit, regardless of the weapon that you use. But because the Infinity Sword uses the /kill command, it doesn't matter.
What is going on? There's like loads of mobs here. Oh my god.
Oh
Can't
yeah,
seem
yeah,
to do
he
damage
summons,
to it.
He summons a whole bunch of friends.
How do I do damage to him when he's like this? Is it melee only, or
Yeah,
he's out of reach of melee?
yep. You have to kind of get up in his face.
Yeah, that ain't happening. I might run out of power at this rate. Oh god, I'm out of power. I have backup power, thank goodness. Okay, this is challenging now because I'm on an island with an army of the undead. Wait, where'd he go?
Yeah, the second the
I
Gaia
see.
Guardian 2 is fairly tough.
Oh, it's
You don't
moving.
have a way to cheese him with a Infinity Sword or something.
Okay, there you are, there you are. Oh, it's so close. There we go, dead.
You got him?
Yep,
Nice.
yep. There's an insane amount of items on this platform now.
Oh yeah.
An insane amount. So that's the Britannia stuff taken care of, and now we're ready to do some of the last stuff in the quest book, but we'll have to save that for another episode, and behind me you can see something else that we'll be doing very, very soon. This game right here, Cluck Puck. I like the look of this. Is it some sort of hockey game? I'm excited. We'll learn all about that very soon. A new minigame here on the server. I cannot wait to play it. But that is it from me this episode. If you have enjoyed it, then leave a like. As always, thank you for the support. And I'll see you in the next one. So ciao for now. Bye-bye.